Hi guys, so welcome back to my channel. Adiatu here, NaturallyAds on YouTube. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I achieve these really small knotless goddess braids. So they're knotless braids and I added loose curly hair to the bottom. I think this is the first time I've done this hairstyle on my channel, but I've done them before, obviously on clients. I don't think I've done it on myself, but I've definitely done it on clients. So the hair that I used was this expression hair. This was the ombre 1B33 hair, and of this I used 2.5 bundles. Each pack comes with 2 bundles, so I used one full pack and half of another, I think. Then for the ends I used this model ocean wave hair in a 1B33 as well. This was an ombre which is mixed, so I use that in the end. So some of the ends are just 33, some of them are mixed with 1B, but it all kind of blends seamlessly together with darker roots and lighter ends, which is what the look I was going for. So of that I used barely a packet because I did cut them in half so they wouldn't be too long. So I think I am going to do a voiceover for this video. Hopefully I do actually end up doing that so that I can explain the knotless process. I'm not best at explaining things because the way I learn is by seeing, so if it's not up to standard I apologize, but you know, bear with me. I'm getting there, learning how to explain things because I'm someone, I just see something and I do it. But yeah, not everyone's like that, so I'm going to try and do more voiceovers in my tutorials like I used to do back in the days, and I'm about to move so I'll have more time to actually talk without worrying about background noise. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel before you leave, turn on the bell to be notified every single time I upload. And yes, so I'm just going to let you guys go ahead and watch the video. Also, if you're from the UK, in East London or Essex, are you interested in me, or anywhere in the UK to be honest, and you want to travel and you're interested in me doing your hair, go onto my Instagram, which is Hair by Ads. I'll put it on the screen, and there's a link down below of the Instagram and the email to contact me about booking an appointment, because I'm back opening after all the COVID stuff with, you know, some safety things in place. But yeah, now I'm so out of breath, I don't know why. I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and watch this video. Okay, so here goes my attempt at, you know, explaining to you my knotless braid method. So I kind of section my hair into like a couple sections. At the front I section it where I want my parts, because usually I want side parts and middle parts. So as you can see, this section is cut into a side part, so I make quite thin sections because I wanted these braids to be quite small. So I use a Raptor comb and make my part. I'm not really great at doing straight parts of my hair, but you know, I do the best that I can. So I clip away the rest of it, and I'm using some gummy wax on my parts of my hair to make it nice and slick. And then I'm going to section this into 2, I believe. Yep. And then clip the side that I'm not using away, and that's my section ready. Yeah, so then I'm going to get my section of hair. So I already pre-section all my hair so every braid is the same, and then I'm going to cut some of the end of that hair off because it ended up being too long for me because I was adding on the curly hair at the end. After I do that, I'm going to separate that one strand of hair into thin strands so I can feed it in. I think I usually do 4 strands. So I put the first thin strand in my mouth just because it's easier, and start with separating my hair into 3 like I'm doing a normal braid. Then I start my braid, so the 1, 2 and 3 of the braid. So 1, 2 and 3. So that my left hand is holding 2 of the strands because I like to feed in with my left hand. Then I get that braid and put 1 strand under my pinky finger, and then I put that strand under my index and thumb finger that's holding the 2 hair pieces, and then I braid that in while holding the other strand in my pinky so that it's not in the way. So once I do 1, 2, 3 braids again, then I get that 1 strand and tuck it back under my thumb and index finger, and then at this point I will feed in another piece of hair the same way. So hold one side with my pinky finger and tuck that other side in between my pointer and thumb, braid in 1, 2, 3 again, and then tuck in that hair back in. At this point, I will feed in another strand, hold it one side with my pinky. I think that's just easier for me. Tuck in the other side in, braid in 1, 2, 3, and then tuck in that strand again. I think I have one more strand to feed in, holding it with my pinky, tuck in the other side in my pointer and thumb, braid in 1, 2, 3, and tuck in that side in. And at this point, I've fed in all the bits that I needed to, and I bring my hands forward and start to braid all the way down like a normal braid. If I need to, I'll add some of the gel to my hair to make sure it blends in. As you can see, these braids are nice and small, which I really like, and I braid all the way down. So that's pretty much what it is. I'm not going to say it's that simple because it might not be for everyone. As you can see, I'm putting gel on my hair to make sure that it blends in. With clients' hair, I tend to try and tuck their hair, but with my own hair, I find it hard to worry about tucking, especially when I have such thin braids and my hair, I don't believe I blow dried my hair. I feel like I braided it to stretch it, so it's not as easy to tuck my own hair. But with other people's hair, I tend to tuck their hair under the braiding hair. So I braid pretty much all the way down and leave a little bit so I can add the hair, measuring it with the rest of my hair. And I don't think I add the hair now. I think I do it later on. So I think I'm going to show you another one, which I'm going to talk through one more time, and then I'll let you just watch the rest and get the gist of it. So first, I'm going to make sure my section is nice and smooth and detangle it. Then I'm going to get another strand of the hair, cut some of it off so that it's the right length, so it's not too long, because this hair was already pre-pulled because it was ombre. That's why I couldn't choose the length. So I'm going to cut like I wouldn't say a third, less than a third of it off, and section it into 4 thin pieces. So I always think it's easier to separate all my hair first so that every braid is the same, and then get each piece and then separate into smaller pieces as I'm feeding it in. So first I'm going to zoom in a bit for this one and maybe you'll see it better. So I'm going to separate my hair into 3 and braid it. 1, and then this one I only braided it once, and I'm going to feed in the braid straight away. So when I do the second feed in, I'll start. So I guess it depends where I am, and that's how I do it. So I'm going to hold one side with my pinky and then tuck the other side in and braid 1, 2, 3, and then tuck the other side in. I don't know why I'm going so fast. It's not sped up. I tuck one side in and hold the other side with my pinky finger, and then tuck the other side in as I braid. Once I go around and braid 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and tuck again. I guess I'm so used to it, I go so fast. Sorry about that. And then once I fed in all 4 strands, then I just braid my hair all the way down. And as you can see, there is no knot. I prefer to braid it all the way, like 3 times before I feed in. I'm not sure why I just braided it once there. I think I was getting lazy at this point. But usually I will always braid it. I never even noticed I did it until I just watched it. Usually I'll braid it 3 times and then feed it in, not braid it just once. I think the knot looks better because the one at the back, in my opinion, looks better for me. But it might just be because it was in my edges. But yeah, so now I'm just going to speed through the rest of it. I'm going to let you guys watch me do a row of them again. So hopefully you get the gist of it, and I'll come back when I'm adding on the curly hair.
Are you feeling my way? Cause I'm feeling your way. So pass up on it, family, mama say it's okay. Oh, them up, me on surely. Baby, you know it's okay. Nah, nah. You're a pretty fine girl and I'm a pretty fine Winstonner. Nah. You're a really cool girl, I got a really good taste. Ha, she feeling my way. She whisper to her friends, say she's feeling my face. Ha, she's feeling my place. She want to be with me when she's feeling high way. Back at you come back again. What's up for me, pay a Gigi. She looking very hot in my yellow Lamborghini. You get the way. Hey, baby, carry the go for a bad man. See the way she the roll for a bad man. She be taking it slow for a bad man. When she dropping the low for a bad man. Baby, carry the go for a bad man. See the way she the roll for a bad man. She be taking it slow for a bad man. When she dropping the low for a bad man.
Okay, now it's time to add the curly hair. So this hair, I cut it back in half and use like thin strands. So I just go where I left off and then put the curly hair behind the strand. It's a bit blurry, sorry you can't see it. But basically I put the left strand of the curly hair on the left strand and then the right strand of the curly hair on the right strand, leaving the middle strand of the braiding hair empty, and just braid it in. I like to braid it in nice and tight so it doesn't slip out, because this hair does slip out so easily. Sorry that my phone is in the background, it's actually giving me anxiety that it's there just hanging off the edge. My apologies. So the way I fed in the thin hair is not the way I do feeding braids, because it was so thin, even though there will be a knot there, the way I did it, it was so thin you couldn't tell. And I didn't use any glue or anything, I just braided it and then stopped. So here you can see I'm starting off the braid, I'm finishing off the braid. I'm getting that curly hair and adding it in at an angle. So the left strand is on the left strand and then the right strand is on the right strand, and I just braid it in just like that. And try to braid it as tight as I can, and I braid in all the way until the braiding hair is finished, and I'm braiding some of the curly hair on its own to make sure it's nice and secure in there, and also so that it doesn't slip out. And then I just like to cut off all the raggedy ends. So same thing, start off or finish off the braid, put that left strand with that left bit of the braiding hair, and this one I just braided one hair into it, so it depends how much of the hair is left, because I guess the other strands were too thin for me, so I just braided one side in, which is a bit dangerous. It's better to braid in two sides because it's more secure that way, or sometimes even 3 edges if possible. So that's all I do, and then I braid it all the way down until there's no more hair, no more of the braiding hair, just the curly hair left, and then this is how the ends look. So I'm going to finish it off and then come back when I'm done.
All up on her waist when we dancing. She don't care about nobody when we standing. Make you ginger me. How they want to ginger me today. Make you ginger me. All the ladies in the house, they want to ginger me today. Hey, carry they go for a bad man. See the way she they roll for a bad man. She be taking it slow.
Okay, so I'm now done. Sorry, I'm just chewing away. So as you can see, I have a kettle in the background. So I know it's hard to, people think they can't dip their hair once they've done this style because of the curly ends. But because I like to dip my hair, even though this hair was not stiff, but just in general, braiding hair tends to get stiff, I decided that I would dip my hair, but just not where the curly ends are. So I'm going to show you what I do. I basically fold my hair where the curly hair stops, I guess, and then dip from upwards, which worked out for me, so that and then it even helped with where I connected it not slip out. So as you can see, I folded my hair, dipped it in the kettle, and then I'm just squeezing it dry. I did it a few times because I was a bit scared since I was doing it myself. So I do both sides, and then after that I dipped my towel into the water and I put it over my head, and I ran it down the curls just once really quickly so that everything could be nice and flawless and it did not interrupt the curl pattern at all. I'm so sorry, I'm just chewing my chewing gum. So yeah, I dip my towel into the hot water. This is dangerous, as you can see it's very hot, so be careful with this. I tend to burn myself a lot, so I'm used to it. And then I'm just going to squeeze it onto the top, and then I did a quick pass down the bottom. Just a quick one, you could barely see it. A quick pass down the bottom.
bad man. When she dropping the low for a bad man, baby carry the go for a bad man. See the way she the roll for a bad man. She be taking it slow for a bad man. When she dropping the low for a bad man, baby carry the go for a bad man. See the way she the roll for a bad man. She be taking it slow.
After that was done, I did use some mousse. The mousse I'm using is the Virgil mousse. It's really hard to find it in London, but yeah. So I do that, put that at the top, and then at the bottom, making sure all the curls are nice and defined. And that's pretty much it. So I hope I did a good job explaining. I'm showing you guys it stops just under my bust. And yeah. And then I'm going to blow dry my hair as well. I like to do this on the high heat to make sure all the flyaways are laying flat and make sure everything is dry and set in place. Also, I like to use some spritz and hairspray also to make sure everything is nice and set. But I did not do that on camera because I was in a rush. But yeah. Okay, so as you can see, my hair is now complete. So this is like a few days later because I just haven't had time to film this. But they're down to about just under my bust with the curls. As you can see, some of them are black, some of them are 33. So this hairstyle took me like all day. I started around 11 and finished around 11, so like 12 hours with breaks in between and stuff, because I was doing them box parts quite small, and then they were not list, and then these things kept slipping through because the way I had them in on my clients, it's harder for me to do it on myself the way I'm facing. So yeah, it was hard, but I got there in the end and I didn't use any glue or anything. I'm out of breath, I don't know why. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Comment down below what you thought of this hairstyle and what hairstyle you'd like me to try next. And also, if you want to see me doing a takedown of this, please let me know, because there's other hairstyles people wanted to know how I took them out and I never filmed them. So before I take this out, let me know if you want to see a takedown of this, which is pretty much simple. I just cut it off and take it out. But if you want to watch the video, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bad man, she be taking it slow for a bad man. When she dropping the low for a bad man, baby carry the go for a bad man. See the way she the roll for a bad man. She be taking it slow for a bad man. When she dropping the low for a bad man, nah 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 nah.